Hi there, and thanks for tuning into the Business English Career Playbook. We're all about making business English accessible and fun. Each episode will explore a new topic, giving you the language and confidence to excel. So, ready to level up your career with better English? Don't forget to subscribe so you can catch every single episode.
Financial literacy. It sounds boring until you realize that 72% of professionals admit to making major business mistakes because they didn't understand basic financial concepts. Today, we're diving into why these money matters actually matter.
That statistic is honestly shocking, though I have to admit, I was definitely part of that percentage early in my career.
You know what's fascinating? The World Economic Forum recently reported that financial literacy has become one of the top 10 skills employers look for, right up there with technical expertise.
Well, that explains why my old boss kept pushing those finance workshops. But here's what I'm curious about. Which financial concepts trip people up the most?
Based on recent surveys, the big three are financial statements, time value of money, and, this one surprised me, basic budgeting. Let's break down why these are such stumbling blocks.
Hmm, I'm guessing it's because people see numbers and immediately freeze up?
That's part of it, but there's actually some interesting psychology at play. Studies show that people often avoid financial concepts because they seem abstract, when really they're quite practical. Take financial statements. They're just stories told through numbers.
Oh, like how a balance sheet is basically just a snapshot of what you own versus what you owe?
Exactly. And here's something wild. A Harvard Business Review study found that executives who understand financial statements make decisions 42% faster than those who don't. It's like having X-ray vision into a company's health.
Speaking of company health, let's talk about something that keeps tripping up even experienced professionals. The difference between profit and cash flow.
Oh man, you're hitting on something crucial there. Did you know that 82% of small businesses fail because of cash flow problems, not because they're unprofitable? It's like having a great salary but terrible spending habits.
That reminds me of a tech startup I worked with. They had millions in contracts but couldn't make payroll because their clients took 90 days to pay invoices.
And that's where understanding the time value of money becomes critical. A dollar today is worth more than a dollar tomorrow, which is why smart companies often offer discounts for early payment.
You know what's interesting about time value of money? It applies to personal finance too, especially with retirement planning.
Well, check this out. If you start investing $500 monthly at age 25 versus age 35, the difference by retirement age can be over $600,000. That's the power of compound interest.
Those numbers are mind-blowing, but let's talk about something more immediate, budgeting and forecasting.
Here's a shocking stat. Only 24% of professionals feel confident in their ability to create and manage budgets. Yet it's probably the most practical financial skill you can have.
That low confidence probably explains why so many departments either overspend or, sometimes worse, underspend their budgets.
You know what's interesting? The most successful companies often treat budgets as flexible guidelines rather than rigid rules. It's about understanding the why behind the numbers.
That makes me think about financial ratios. They're like the vital signs of a business, right?
Exactly. And here's something fascinating. Companies that regularly monitor their financial ratios are 30% more likely to spot problems before they become crises. It's like having an early warning system.
Well, that explains why my new company is so obsessed with their current ratio and debt-to-equity numbers.
And speaking of debt, let's talk about leverage. It's probably the most misunderstood concept in business finance. Used correctly, it's like a superpower. Used wrongly, it's kryptonite.
That's such a perfect analogy. I've seen both scenarios play out in real time.
The data backs this up. Companies with optimal leverage ratios outperform their peers by an average of 15% in terms of return on equity. But those that over-leverage are 3 times more likely to go bankrupt during economic downturns.
So what's the key takeaway for professionals trying to boost their financial literacy?
Well, recent research suggests starting with understanding cash flow and basic financial statements. Master those, and you'll understand about 80% of what you need for most business decisions.
That's actually really encouraging. It makes financial literacy seem more achievable.
And remember, every financial wizard started as a beginner. The key is to start seeing these concepts as tools rather than obstacles. They're meant to help you make better decisions, not complicate your life.
That's such a powerful way to look at it. These aren't just abstract concepts, they're practical tools for success.
Looking ahead, financial literacy is only going to become more crucial. With AI and automation handling the basic number crunching, understanding what those numbers mean and how to use them strategically will be what sets successful professionals apart.
We're out of time for this episode of the Business English Career Playbook. Thanks so much for spending this time with me and for working on your business English. To make sure you get all our future insights, remember to subscribe. It's the best way to keep learning. Thanks for tuning in.